Welcome one, welcome all. It's time to take a look at Day 4 of the World Championships. The first game in the highlight package today will be Samsung Ozone versus Gambit Gaming. Next up, we move on to Vulcan Techbargains versus Fnatic in a battle of North America versus Europe. Then we move on to heavy underdogs Team Mineski. They take on Russian powerhouse squad Gambit Gaming. Then we move along to Fnatic versus Samsung Ozone in a highly anticipated clash. And then the fifth and final game from Day 4 will be Team Mineski taking on Vulcan Techbargains in what was one of the more one-sided games. And then finally, we take a look at Day 5 fixtures. Welcome one, welcome all. I am Jason J. Atkins, and this is the Day 4 recap of the League of Legends World Championships, of course. We are going to see the first game being Samsung Ozone versus Gambit, as you saw in the video. We're going to jump right into the clip now. We're going to see a first kill coming in from Dandy, a reply coming back from Gambit, but eventually we do see Day pick up the second kill.
Genji's the only one that's falling behind thanks to that immense amount of damage he took at level 1. We're about to hit the 5-minute mark, and nobody's really had an impact yet. As Dandy and Diamond Prox, they're really
Diamond first one into the bush. Dandy doesn't see him.
Dandy gets hit. Red buff is applied. Diamond Prox is about to get the blood price down. He's dropped to 200 HP. Gets the knock up onto Dandy's exhaust. Has come back up for Alex. Now the blood well has reactivated. It's now Diamond Prox flashes in for the kill. First blood is secured for Dandy. It's now Alex forced to flash over the wall. Dade chases. We do see the red buff is sitting on Dade as those double skittles trade damage. That's a 2-for-1 in favor of Ozone.
So this time around, it's Dandy and Dade who come out.
During the next two clips, we are going to see Samsung Ozone take the mid-tier 1. In reply, we're going to see Gambit, then Drake.
The outer rims of the lane, we do see the tower falling. Ozone managed to secure
damage, and Zach's usually going to be looking to dive the back line, going for Corki. Gambit, 5 members though, just rushing down this turret, or this dragon.
True shot barrage flings across that.
After a fairly quiet period after the Drake pickup, what we're now going to see is a top lane engagement between Samsung Ozone and Gambit. A good stranglethorn sets up what could have been a really good fight here for Gambit, but some bad positioning and some really good play from Imp does lead to a Samsung Ozone 3-for-1.
The first kill of the fight as the Bloodwell has been popped. Genji was forced to run away. He was basically singled out by Looper. This is a 2-for-1, and now all of a sudden Alex is in trouble. He's forced to exhaust Dade, throws out the hourglass. Neither of the skill shots from Ozone land, but it's not going to be enough as Mata secures the kill. That is a 1-for-3 at the end of the day. They're going to secure the tower.
Ozone did a very good job of spreading out for that team fight. Gambit, like we said, we're getting very desperate here. They had to make a move, did not pay off though, and now they're going to lose a Nexus turret.
Oh, that's a flash forward from Mata. We see Boydle's in trouble. Doesn't manage to get knocked up, but we do see the ace.
After the top lane team fight that most definitely went in Samsung Ozone's favour, Gambit were most definitely on the back foot. From that point forward, they didn't really look like they were capable of engaging. They were just looking for loose kills and picks here and there. And to be quite honest, it didn't happen for them. In the next two clips, we are going to see Imp apply pressure to the inhibitor. Looper does get caught somewhat out of position, but that does allow SSO the ability to take the inhibitor. And then in the second clip, you're going to see the closeout of the game. A well-timed Requiem from Alex each, but really Gambit overextended off the back of that. And that is what opened the actual Nexus for the victory.
Have a Peacemaker almost connecting with Genji, and in the background we see that Voidal actually went down below a third. The rest of Ozone now turn their attention to the bottom lane turret. It looks like this is all she wrote for Gambit as Ozone throw out the true shot barrage. Tower number 9 has now fallen. We do see Dandy jumping in, flag and drag, Cataclysm down. Here comes Looper in the background. Let's bounce. Genji's the first victim of the fight as Looper is bouncing on 3 members of Gambit. Alex is not really in a great position to deal damage, and Requiem, even though it's up, it's not going to be enough. Starts to channel that one out. Not going to be able to secure any kills right now. The rest of Ozone is going to jump on the tower. Dandy sitting on top of the death-defied corpse of Alex will be the first victim, but it's Dade and Imp that you need. Darian's healed up out of the fountain, still not able to kill Dade down. Now Darian forced low, lands a cocoon, he gets dropped. Imp flashes forward to land the audio attacks. The Nexus is going to fall, and ladies and gentlemen, Ozone have bounced back. They have earned revenge.
Moving along now, time to take a look at the second game from our highlights package. We are going to see Fnatic versus North American favourites Vulcan Techbargains. In the first clip, we are going to see a 3-for-1 that goes in favour of Fnatic, largely in part because of XPK's teleport.
Damage on ManCloud as he's hanging out in the river. Right now, Pusher and Yellowstar are extended.
They got the exhaust
down. We see Xmithy has been rooted in place. Yellowstar's been able to save Pusher for a while. He does flash, gets away from the cocoon. Tower damage is there. The barrier bait is up. Now the tower turns onto Bloodwater. First blood is secured, but look in the background. Pekka's used the teleport. He's been able to pick up one. Now barrier is down. Pekka's low on mana. Zuna dropped to 150 HP. Final rush is going to be enough.
With Vulcan Techbargains a little bit behind after that start, they do elect to go for the early Drake pickup. They managed to bag that, but what we're going to see on the top lane is Cyanide securing the kill with the red buff, and then on bottom you are going to see Pushu actually take down his counterpart, Zuna.
It's going to be ticking, it's Cyanide secures it. In the bottom lane, Pushu with the BF sword is going to secure a kill onto Zuna.
During this next clip, you're going to see Xpeke jump down on mid. It is a 4-man push on the mid tower. The tier 1 does not fall. Xpeke even helps get a kill with Cyanide. And then you're going to see Fnatic turn this right on its head.
The grasping roots in the background locks up Vulcan, and in actual fact, it's Fnatic that pick up a kill. Here comes Soaz, slingshots in, he interrupts ManCloud. ManCloud cannot get away with the claw of doom. It signals his doom.
Time now to take a look at how Fnatic actually secured the mid-tier 2. You're going to see at the end of the clip as well some beautiful play from Soaz and Cyanide, turning what could have been just a bad fight into a terrible one for Vulcan Techbargains. They do manage to isolate Zuna and bring him back into the fight against his own will.
Is down. Glacial Doom comes out. Now the arrow does catch Sid. That is immense. There's been no Hemoplague yet. They've traded mid laner for support in mid lane. Now Sid forced backwards. The Hemoplague was out, only catching Pushu. That's not going to be enough to kill him. Psycho Sid's going to be the next victim as we do see the Cell division coming up. Cyanide has got a double kill in the background, and Zuna, the only member of Vulcan to survive. Fnatic now turn their attention to this mid inner turret. Zuna's still alive, but he can't defend against 4.
Again, Vulcan used everything to burst down Pekka there. They get him, but now they're going to get Ace.
Cyanide jumps in, he didn't even use his Dragon Rage. Zuna now on the other side. Root comes out, not going to be enough. Stretching.
If you thought a Fnatic victory in this game was inevitable, well, you were kind of right. We are going to see Puzu set up a beautiful crystal arrow that leads to a double kill that eventually closes out the game.
It does get locked up by the tube. Crescendo catches him and Pushu, which is immense. We do see that a great survive there as the locket of the Island Solari keeps Pekka alive. Now Pushu turns his focus onto Sid. That's 4 quick kills back to back to back. And that locket keeping Pekka alive. That's the tower down. This is going to be the inhibitor as well. And Fnatic may continue to push.
That was very beautiful play there by Pushu, picking up those last 3 kills, going under the turret. But again, the Frozen Tomb into Crescendo onto Peke seems to be what Vulcan were having as the answer, and it did not work out. There's a surrender.
Vulcan calling it quits at 21 minutes, 30 seconds.
Next up, we see Team Mineski taking on Gambit Gaming in what could have been a one-sided game. The opening was actually relatively close, though, so you are going to see some good trades in the early game. Eventually, Gambit do pull away, of course, as is to be expected. They are a much better team on paper. Not just on paper, but also in practice, and that's what you'll see evidence throughout the course of these clips.
Just trading. Once again, blows. That's a flash forward into exhaust. Here comes Kaigu. Genja is going to move forward. He's going to get that caustic spittle down. Sidestep to Sonic Wave. First blood secured by Exo. Throws down the barrier. He tries to pounce away. 200 HP as Darian lands the slow. That's going to secure it. And Darian gets out after lane cutting, pulling the attention and makes it work. Now all of a sudden, Genja and Voidal turn the focus onto Exo and TG. We do see Voidal just gets deleted by the True Shot barrages. Exo, Arcane shifts forward.
Appearances can sometimes be deceptive. What we are going to see in the next clip is a huge cash differential between the two teams. You're looking at almost 10k on the gold front. That is converted into kills from Voidal. He does manage to get the double on the top lane. And from that point forward, really, Gambit didn't look back.
The next target. That's a double kill for Voidal. Channeling is in Edward and picking up the True Shot barrage for the second time this game. The rest of Gambit are trying to shut down the tower. TG gets caught by a shockwave, so we see Diamond Proc sinking his fangs in for the kill. Diamond once more. Blades of Torment goes up. Lands it at the tip. The Arcane Shift not even enough to get away. Yume and Kaigu now the next two to try and defend.
That accuracy with Blades of Torment I was talking about. It goes so small at the end of the skill shot there to be able to consistently land those. Darian is just spot on.
Yeah, really, really great play here from Gambit. They've secured the first inhibitor turret of the game in the top lane. They picked up the inhibitor in the mid lane. There is an exposed inhibitor in the top lane. They haven't given up. That's a double knockup as now Kaigu forced to kick him away. Voidal picks up his 4th kill of the game. That's 4, 2, and 2. And now Gambit looking to close this one out. 22 minutes on the clock. Darian still has his blood well if he needs to tank it up. Schnoi on the sideline throwing out those javelins, and it's not going to be enough. Gambit decide to err on the side of caution. They have backed away. Stranglethorns is not available for use here if Mineski tried to re-engage. And Gambit, they're still just relying on Sona's sustain. Voidal gets shut down. Exo with the Essence Flux. Now this is a messy fight. Snoi has flashed forward. He's jumped onto Genja. He's been dropped 1v3. And in the background, Darian's flashed away. Bloodwell gets popped. Exo landing every skill shot he needs to. Now all of a sudden, Alex is in trouble. Deathmark should pick this one up. You might...
With confidence riding high, perhaps a little too high for Gambit at this point of the game, we do see MSK turn around and manage to push Gambit back out of the base. It's not enough to get them back on track, but it does buy them a little bit of time.
Solo out the kill onto Exo. He's forced back, actually, does manage to survive. Gambit has picked up 2 kills this fight.
Final clip now of the Team Mineski versus Gambit game. You're going to see Gambit push into the main base, of course. They do manage to outposition Team Mineski. Everybody fairly low, Darian and Genja especially. They were quite viable targets, but really Mineski not able to get close enough for even a sniff here.
Last turret of the game is going to fall now. Crescendo did go out. They managed to land it on Snoi and pick up a kill. And Gambit with a textbook closing out the game here. Going to finish off this Nexus. Shockwave was used by Alex in the previous fight, and a very, very convincing win here for Gambit. Put Mineski at 0-5.
Time now to move along to the second game in our highlights package for day 4. We are going to see Fnatic taking on Samsung Ozone. What we're going to see in the first clip is a double kill that goes in favor of Samsung Ozone. Imp picking up the first blood, Dandy on Elise grabbing the second.
That's one of the big reasons MYM started the European LCS season so well, is because it was such a hard adaptation for teams to adjust to. And even though Ozone's played with and against it a little bit, there's no way they're as comfortable in that game as Fnatic is.
Here we go then, top lane, 3 men are there. Cyanide already going very, very low from this one. Dandy was there to cover that one off. Yellow Star, he's down to about 1/3 of his HP remaining as well. And there a Cocoon lands
Here comes the cavalry though from
Yeah,
Ozone.
the rest of them are coming up from this on the duo. Moving up from that top lane, there is Yellow Star, actually having to flash over the wall, but Imp will follow him over. Picks up the first blood. Cyanide had his blood well popped there as well. And now Pushu is in the middle of nowhere from this one, but will he be able to escape out of things? He does have a flash available. He has a barrier, but there's the fear. He's not escaping this one. Dandy makes it 2-0.
With Day making a positional mistake on the top lane, Samsung goes on decide to react by picking up the Drake. That's what we're going to see in the next clip. Once the Drake is picked up, we then see a little engagement that leads to Puzu again taking down Day. So Day not having much fun on top lane whatsoever.
People down here for Ozone. It's an early dragon play. They 4-man it. Peke, this is another example actually of the Doran shield early by Ozone.
Wow, Dade once again going super low. He's dead once again.
Time now for a prime example of Korean playstyle. What we are going to see is Samsung Ozone pushing mid. You're going to see a potential for double kill on Fnatic, but it eventually goes to double kill in favor of Samsung Ozone. Imp picking up 2 here.
Party, there is a repel coming out, but look at him, he's fallen extremely low. They decide to stop chasing him and turn back around onto the spider, but Dandy will be able to warn 11 in that game. Outside at 3-1-0, everything going their way. Matter, they're both caught by it, they jump in, Stranglethorns goes down, there is a shutdown, and the second kill going to come around. Yellow Star pulling that one off, but...
The one person to most definitely keep an eye on during this next clip is Peke picking up 4 kills. This goes a long way to setting Fnatic's victory up.
Inside of the jungle, Matter going to be draining health away as the Stranglethorns go down. Pushu, he's in a lot of trouble now as he gets caught between them. Ultimate is going to get put down, but he's managed to survive. Looper picks up Yellow Star. He will finally bounce in the middle of them. Peke comes in to try and clean things up. Looper going very low. Him and Cyanide battling as there's a triple kill for Peke, and I've got a feeling it's not over. Looper going to have his passive pot, but it's not going to be enough to keep him alive.
With desperation most definitely starting to set in for Samsung Ozone, they elected to start a Drake fight, and to be perfectly honest, it didn't really work out in their favour, largely due to Soaz's positioning. He's going to work his way around the back, and what you are going to see is Soaz set up a really nice team fight in favour of Fnatic.
So he did.
Soaz is behind him.
Away from that. Soaz does come from the backside. They're closing on to Matter. They're being absolutely exploded. Looper will manage to jump away, but can you escape Peke? Not right now. Pushu's moving in as well. There's the finisher. Peke dominating.
This is exactly the type of game Fnatic loves to be a part of. Soaz could get behind the lines of Ozone and approach the fight properly. It doesn't matter for Fnatic if they do not have tanks, if they're allowed to initiate in the open field. Ozone exposed himself in that Dragon, even though Fnatic...
Time now to take a look at the straw that broke the proverbial camel's back. You are going to see another jungle fight, which leads to Imp being caught out of position by Yellow Star. So some good Zyra play sets up a kill onto the AD carry. After that, you are going to see a 4-man from Soaz, and that was the final nail in the coffin.
Peke jumping in as well. Low HP on Dade, but he will manage to stay alive for now. Ozone trying to push this mid lane back, but the top lane has been decimated. The minions not getting past the steps of the base, and this is going to be another inner turret.
As mobile as Ozone's composition is, they're still sitting ducks against Fnatic right now. Whenever Fnatic wants to go in, he's done. He's back down.
He's coming down, but he's not going home. Peke now godlike on Kassadin. That inner turret did go down. The inhibitor turret's going to fall with this one. Dade using the ultimate on himself. Doesn't have the Zhonya's yet. Soaz picks up his first kill of the game. Fnatic making this look easy.
This is very quickly evolving into a stop for Fnatic. Ozone has nothing to stop the assassination power and the gold lead of Fnatic right now.
As he inhib, easily taken down here by Fnatic as he going towards him. He's just about alive, gets himself back onto the fountain. Lupa now bouncing around in the team. He will go down, and that is another kill, a quick kill in succession there for Soaz. Bouncing around the team of Fnatic, but the rest of Ozone nowhere near him. They decide they're too scared to get involved. Lupa gonna have that passive pop, but Fnatic just bypass him and go for the next man. Dandy repels up in the air. Peke actually gonna be focused here, but he will be able to rift walk himself back out of danger. Now they turn on towards him. Cyanide passive pop. Dade, he's had to walk away as Imp will go down in the end, and they die for Dade as well. That's gonna be 4 kills for Fnatic, and surely the game with that quadra from Soaz.
Peke sat on 17 health. The surrender.
Time now to take a look at the 5th and final of the day's games. We are going to see Team Mineski taking on Vulcan Techbargains in what was perhaps the most one-sided game of the World Championships so far.
On towards the blue buff. TG and Snow there just spotting Zuna off down towards his bottom side. So actually will be a 5v4 now. Zuna has to get back around for this one. Sid gonna go in there, gets the taunt down. There's a Vault Breaker as Kaigu has to back away, but Zuna comes in from the backside. Snow in trouble. Smithy flashes out. Exo now getting locked up. He's already used his barrier. Can he get away? There's a flash over the top. Mindcloud, yeah, he gets away as well as the grasping root landed. There's a stun card. TG's a dead man.
Zuna securing first blood, and Psycho Sid following up on Shen to get the second kill onto TG. It was a good start for Vulcan, and really they didn't look back from that point forward. They managed to snowball this game pretty handily.
Battery slams down Exo for the kill. Yeah, this could be the first kill of the game for Mineski. Strangle Thorns go down. Here comes Stan United though. Will Bloodwater be able to get to safety? There's the arrow coming through. They turn it around. TG going very, very low. He will have to flash, but he won't get away from the damage of Psycho Sid. And there is the assault on Battery down on towards Exo. Kaigo has managed to pick up a kill there at the back. Exo did die, and now Kaigo is running for his life against Zuna and Psycho Sid. He's not going to escape that one. It leaves it at 10-1 to Vulcan.
Kaigu did get the kill there, and it's got to be at least a small victory here from Mineski. Vulcan's going to push down the rest of these outer turrets. It's already 3-0, and like you said, Joe, it is an absolute landslide right here. Vulcan mostly unopposed.
After that disastrous jungle fight, which saw Vulcan picking up kills, the blue buff, and the tower as well, we're going to see MSK on the back foot. In these next 2 clips, you will see how the game closes out, largely in part because of Bloodwater's Zyra play. Got to give some props to Psycho Sid on Shen as well. He caused a lot of harassment with that Sunfire cape.
Stone card comes down. Exo actually managing to stay alive for quite a while. Mindcloud now in trouble. He goes down. Snow picks up the kill.
There we go. They get 1 back there, even though Kaigu was going down. And the rest of Vulcan, though, collapsing in. Mineski's got to run away.
Snow down to half HP. There it was. The assault and battery. They've actually managed to lock Yume up there with those strangle thorns as well. There's a crescendo, a good one, actually coming out from TG. But in the meantime, Zuna hammering away on this top inhib turret. There'll be nothing that Mineski can do to stop this and that inhibitor going down.
Yeah, even though they have 4 people alive right now, they just do not have the strength or the gold to get Vulcan out of their base. 16,500 gold, 20 Almost.
Focus on pushing this mid lane out as we are going to see a Solemn Battery coming in. There's the arrow. Stranglethorn's going down. They're going to lock up Exo. He's not escaping. Kaigu will fall as well. Destiny going to be popped. He comes in from the side. He's got to pull the card. There it is. He's on the fountain, but he's pulled it nonetheless. Yume goes down. Triple kill for Zuna.
Gotta feel good there for Vulcan. 21 kills to 2. They need to take the momentum from this game and move it throughout the rest of the group.
So here we go, the Nexus turret's being focused, only Snowy left alive. He's going to dive in there, give Zuna a kick, but he gets off to the ward and he actually gets into the fountain, still with some life. Zuna going for him. Zuna, is he going to finish him off? No, Sid going to tank up the fountain. Zuna dies as well, and Snowy holding on just about. They're going to go for him again, but the Nexus here being hammered away on will get finished off. And
that was about as one-sided a game as I hoped to see at the World Finals. Mineski really did struggle against North America's number 2 team. How does that leave the groups? Well, let's take a look right now. They will be popping up just on the left here. Of course, Fnatic in first place, 1-5. Gambit Gaming in second. They've got 4 victories. Samsung Ozone in third. Many people would have predicted them to finish first or second in this group. Then we see Vulcan Techbargains in fourth, of course, and Mineski sitting in fifth. So, time now to move on. Let's have a look at day 5 and the fixtures that are coming up. I'll pull those up right now. The first of the fixtures will start at 4 AM CEST. That will be Lemon Dogs versus SK Telecom 1. An hour later, we will see the second game of OMG versus Gaming Gear EU. Next up, it will be TSM versus SKT1. That game starting at 6 AM CEST. The game after that will be Gaming Gear EU versus Lemon Dogs. That's a 7 AM CEST, 6 AM GMT game. And then the final game of day 5 will be OMG versus TSM. So, potential for some good games on day 5. Hopefully nothing as one-sided as that Mineski Vulcan game we just saw. Anyway, I'm going to bid you adieu now because I've got some GTA 5 to be playing. I've also got plenty of World Championship coverage to actually get on with as well. So, for myself and everybody here at Interlol, it is time to bid you adieu. You guys have been great, and I will catch you on the flip side.